Hello, folks. AJ England here in Studio 1396, Columbus, Ohio, and I could not be more excited than this very moment. We have talked about doing this for years, and the time is finally here. We are going to kind of relive Smokey and the Bandit, the 1977 classic, and, well, you've probably seen it, but maybe they haven't. So we're just going to get right into this, and we're going to tell you all about a great American film classic. Part number 1, the bet that started it all. Alrighty, y'all. Imagine Fast and Furious meets the Dukes of Hazzard, but with beer. That's Smokey and the Bandit. Two dudes in ugly suits, Big and Little Enos. They bet the legendary Bandit that he cannot haul 400 cases of Coors beer from Texas to Georgia in 28 hours. Why Coors? Because back then, Coors was basically moonshine east of Texas. Illegal. Tasty. Forbidden foam. And Bandit, he's like, bet. But first he needs a fast car and his buddy Cletus with a big rig. Which takes us to part 2. Bandit gets his ride. So Bandit strolls in and picks out the sexiest car of 1977, a black Pontiac Trans Am V8 T-top with the screaming chicken on the hood. It's the Batmobile for rednecks. Meanwhile, Cletus, aka Snowman, he gets the 18-wheeler. Why? Because he's hauling the beer. Bandit's job, be the flashy distraction, aka the blocker. Together, they're the Avengers of beer smuggling. And yeah, they bring Fred, the most unbothered basset hound in film history. Which takes us to part 3. The mission begins. With the deal set, Bandit and Snowman take off westbound and down to Texarkana, and they're moving. Like pedal to the metal, zero chill. The CB radios are popping, the slang is wild, Breaker 19, Smokey Bear, Chokin' Puke. You need a dictionary just to keep up. But they had the beer with time to spare, and now the race against the law and physics begins. Only one problem. Which takes us to part 4. Frog enters the chat. Bandit's tearing back east when, bam, he picks up a runaway bride in a wedding dress. Meet Carrie, aka Frog. She just ditched her groom at the altar. Bandit's like, hop on in. And y'all, she does. Turns out her ex-fiancé is the son of Sheriff Buford T. Justice, the angriest, sweatiest, most quotable cop in the South. Buford starts chasing Bandit with one thing in mind: vengeance. Also probably antacids. And let's talk about Chapter 5. Sheriff Buford T. Justice. If Yosemite Sam and a Waffle House cook had a baby, it'd be Sheriff Buford T. Justice. He's hot on Bandit's tail, yelling phrases like "some bitch" and "I'm gonna barbecue your ass in molasses." His patrol car falls apart one fender at a time, but he never quits. And poor Junior, his son, he's along for the ride, with all of the IQ of about a grilled cheese. Part 6. Roadblocks and Romance. Bandit and Frog are dodging cops, jumping bridges, and casually falling in love. We're talking mid-car costume changes, flirting during police chases, and full-on seat swapping while doing 90. Meanwhile, Cletus is fighting off rednecks at truck stops, stress-eating burgers for Fred, and oh yeah, Fred the dog, still vibing, unbothered, untouchable. Part 7. The convoy that saves the day. As the law closes in, Bandit and Snowman get help from the CB radio fam. Truckers, waitresses, and mystery dudes named Silver Tongue Devil and Hot Pants Hilliard, they all jump in to help. It's like the Mario Kart of Southern hospitality. One trucker even hides Bandit in a convoy, aka a rolling traffic jam of freedom. Justice cannot catch what he can't see. Part 8. Chaos nears the finish line. With just miles to go, everything goes bonkers. There are car pileups, football games interrupted, frogs hopping around in wedding dresses, and Sheriff Justice wrecking his cruiser more times than a Grand Theft Auto player. Still, Bandit and Cletus push on, their Trans Am's barely in one piece. The beer's rattling in the back, but they're almost there. Part 9. They make it, but barely. They screech into Atlanta with minutes to spare, Coors in tow, and Big Enos pays up big. But before Bandit and the crew can ride off into the sunset, Enos hits him with a double or nothing bet. Hey, why don't you go down to Boston and bring me back some clam chowder, he says. Classic 70s sequel setup. But Bandit, he's like, hell yeah. And they peel off into the horizon. The movie ends subtly. Part 10. The Legend Who Lived On. Smokey and the Bandit ends not just with a win, but with a legacy. It made CB radios cool, it sold a crap ton of Trans Ams, and it gave us one of the best road comedies ever. And a sheriff who cursed more than your drunk uncle on Thanksgiving. And the best part, Bandit didn't just beat the law, he embarrassed it. Flirted with doing it, and looked damn cool the whole way. The thing about Smokey and the Bandit is... I've lost you. I've lost my feed. There we are. The thing about Smokey and the Bandit is, it's a classic. You know, they made 7 of these movies. They made 3 in theater and 4 made for TV. Some of the cast members came and went. But it's a lot more than just an entertaining movie. It's Americana. To borrow a term from Ray Evernham, it's Americana. You see, the movie Smokey and the Bandit represents faith, freedom, friends, family, and fun. The 5 great F's of the South. The Trans Am puts out mad horsepower. It was a great advertisement for the General Motors product at the time. And it's a car that when you see one going down the highway or at your local car show, it's something that's real cool. Burt Reynolds, best known for so many different roles. In my mind, I think Smokey. Of course, it was Bo Bandit was his real name. And he only takes his hat off for one thing. And how about Cletus Snow, the snowman? And no, he is not Hank Snow's brother. If you've never seen Smokey and the Bandit, I want you to go ahead and do it. Type it in on the internet, find what app or where you can purchase it, rent it, or maybe where you can stream it free. I promise, you won't regret it. And if you have, well then you know it's about time to watch it again. Folks, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I'm AJ England. This has been The Late Lap. Take care.